Much, James. Okay, our next speaker is Susie Punchion, and Susie is the Director of Engagement and Funding and works out of the office in Charlestown at NDIA, and you've been there ever since the door opened, so from March last year, was it?
Before the door opened.
Before the door opened. Okay, so let's welcome Susie.
Thank you, and thank you for the invitation. It's a shame that Jeff can't be here tonight, but thank you for everyone turning up. So the NDIS, we're nearly halfway through our trial. It's a 3-year trial here in the Hunter and 3 other trial sites that commenced along with the Hunter on 1 July last year. Our trials across 3 local government areas, Newcastle, Maitland and Lake Macquarie. So where the NDIS is being implemented as planned. What's really important in number 1 for the scheme is that people with disability are at the heart of the NDIS and their families and their carers. People with disability are the experts in their lives, not the agency staff. We're there to support and assist and facilitate you in your journey through life and what that looks like. The NDIS provides people with disability access to supports and services, as James has already mentioned, that are reasonable and necessary, and so that you can live an ordinary life. That's what it's all about. We focus on outcomes and individual goals. That's really important, so that we can ensure that we're supporting people to achieve outcomes that they want to see and be able to achieve. There is a focus on, social and economic participation in the community and increasing that. But the NDIS is not just about funded supports. The plan is not just about what supports do you need from us to fund in a plan. It's about the whole of life. So it's about what are your informal and circles of support, your friendships, that we can assist through linkages and building that and maintaining resilience. We'll also look at those community and what we call mainstream supports. So, the health system and education and those other areas. That what can they do and assist with you out there in the community? And then finally, we will look at those funded supports that are linked to your goals and your aspirations. We're here to stay. That's our intention, built to last. I must say and I think Jill will back me up on this, I think it's one of the most unique reforms that we absolutely have support from all parties of government, regardless of where they sit, what party they're on. There is bipartisan agreement that everyone in government wants to make this work, and that's just fantastic to see. So it is a major social reform, which is shifting disability services from a welfare model to an insurance model. The insurance basis of the scheme means that we support people with disability to improve long-term outcomes, and that people who may acquire an injury or get a disability in the future, that there's a scheme there to support them as well as people who have a disability now. I guess James was alluding as a service provider that we have people who are coming to phase in with service providers to the scheme, but there's also people who can apply who have no supports as well. At the end of the 3-year trial in the Hunter, it's predicted that we'll have around 10,000 people in the scheme. We actually only just had our new data announced today for the end of year 2, quarter 1. And there's just under 11,000 people across Australia who are eligible for the scheme, and 8,800, I think, from the top of my head, that actually have approved plans, and that's growing. So we have trial sites in all of the jurisdictions bar Queensland. Queensland will be starting on 1 July 2016, but the trial is really important, and I can't emphasise that we are a trial. We're building and learning on what works well and what doesn't work well. We want to change, and we've made a lot of changes. I think James can attest to some of those changes, and Seth as well, your service and your staff who work alongside us. So we are changing, and we're all part of this reform. The NDIS, the National Disability Insurance Scheme, isn't just the responsibility of the National Disability Insurance Agency. We can't do this alone. This scheme and this reform is each member of the community